up you guys, this is Rob from Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, as you can see, I have finally got my hands on a new kit gun. Yes, we are rocking the Catch Moon, however that is not the subject of today's video. We've got something more important to cover. Yes, that's right, we finally got ourselves a freaking MOA, and believe you me, there are some very interesting things that I went ahead and learned from how to get more precepts into the different types of mods this baby can use. So without ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, so touching on MOA construction real quick, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I really wasn't all that concerned about stats when it came down to the MOA itself. The only thing that I really cared about was the model and that everything else looked good with it. So as you can see right here, the big important thing about the model is it actually determines the precepts that you receive with it. Now the very interesting thing about these precepts is that these precepts can be used on any of the other MOA that you create. So just because you have a Lambeo MOA doesn't mean that you can't use the presets from the Allura MOA or the Para MOA. So you can have a Lambeo MOA and then go ahead and grab the precepts that you grabbed from the Allura and go ahead and put it on the Lambeo model. So it doesn't really matter. These things just determine what precepts you initially receive with it. So let's just go ahead and pretend like I'm creating my own. Now when it comes down to the cores, it talks about the base stats that are available for your MOAs. Really, honestly, I just picked whatever I thought looked cutest because it kind of looked like, what is it called? Like coattails. So, duh, of course I'm gonna go for that one, especially when you have a top hat. And then the gyro kind of alters the stats that are found on the base ones, and these ones, of course, are doubled when everything is gilded. So as you can see, I went ahead and went with a little bow tie because you got to, and then the only bracket that you have is the Drimper bracket. I don't really get the points of the Drimper bracket, so this is actually the current setup that I have for my personal MOA, and I thought that it was just too goddamn adorable, and I figured that I would go ahead and give it a shot. But I did find some very interesting things out with this because the MOA isn't necessarily a sentinel, nor necessarily is it quite a companion. It's a very interesting mix of both. Alrighty, so as you can see, I've got Caladrius equipped, and for those of you guys who are wondering about the naming conventions of my MOAs, I'm actually pulling from legendary birds. Now, Caladrius specifically is supposed to be a bird that was rumored to live in the king's bedroom, and what it would do is it would take any sickness away from the king into itself, and then it would fly off and disperse it everywhere, which I think is kind of like the perfect name for a butler type of MOA that's supposed to be there to protect you. Now, as you can see, Caladrius does have the Sweeper Prime equipped, so they're taking on sentinel weapons. Now, here's one of the odd things, though, that I want to point out, because this is where things really surprised me. As you can see, MOAs have access to a mix of both sentinel and typical companion mods. We've got Link Health and Link Armor, which I did not expect, as well as Pack Leader, which I am super duper fond of when it comes to Kubrows and Kavats. Now, as you can see, this makes the MOAs far more survivable than your typical Sentinels and gives them the ability to be revived. Specifically, as you can see, it's actually got Metapet Kit available there, which gives it an increased bleed out reduction and lets it heal itself. So I'm totally and utterly jazzed by that, but it's also got access to things like Shield Charger and Meta Ray, which I know that a lot of other people are fond of. I actually prefer the Kavat Kubrow version, where the Kavat and Kubrow will deal damage to enemies and it'll be restored to you, but listen, we're working with what we got. I've already gone ahead and tossed in Animal Instinct as well, but I want to go ahead and do a quick kind of pan through the different mods that you can get. So you can get Link Shields, we've got Loyal Companion in there, we've also got Sanctuary, and what else? Guardian. So there are a ton of like weird mixes. I don't feel like it's fully fleshed out because I kind of feel bad because Sentinels did get, the new synth set. Kubrows got the mecha set, and Kavat's got the tech set, but MOAs didn't get any sets, which was kind of a bit frustrating. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out here, as you can see, I've actually got the Anti-Grav precept, and I also have the Shockwave Actuators precept. Now, the reason that they're not equipped in there is because you can actually only equip 2 MOA precepts in one spot. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to replace Shield Charger but as you can see, it flashes that I already have 2 MOA mods in there. And as you can tell, Stasis Field and Shockwave Actuators were the ones that came with the Lambeo MOA. But I actually went ahead and constructed a second MOA in order to pull the Whiplash and where is it, the anti-grav grenade mods off of, because I wanted to go ahead and see how they work. Now, for those of you who are curious as to how to get your hands on these precepts, you actually have to fully construct a second MOA. I was trying to be a little cheeky and just construct the head portion. I was like, okay, maybe if I just construct the head portion, like, I'll have access to it. No, you need to like go through and construct the whole thing before they went ahead and put in the extra mods into your account. So I do have another one that is just waiting to get leveled, but I haven't gone and gilded quite yet. However, this is definitely a setup that I find is really, really fun, but you know, Shockwave Actuators isn't actually that bad, so I kind of feel bad building the second MOA. Alright, so I figured I would just go ahead and show you guys the precepts real quick of the basic Lambeo MOA, and then we go ahead and move into the Para-MOA precepts. So first we've got Stasis Field, which creates a stasis field for 30 seconds. While inside the field, all enemy projectiles move 90% slower and deal 60% less damage. That's actually fucking amazing. In addition to that, we've got Shockwave Actuators, which readies a shockwave every 10 seconds that knocks down nearby enemies. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in action. Alright, so we've got our pretty little Caladrius ready to go, and we've got a Billy as well. So let's see what he's got for us. Bebs, where are you? Where are you, Bebs? There we go. So take a look at this. Look at how slow that is moving, and I can just get like in front of it and it's absolutely nuts. Oh, as soon as it enters the stasis field, you can actually just kind of dodge them. It's super duper nuts. You can just jump over them. It's great. I love it. And this is why I kind of like him as a super defensive MOA. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is not like, it's not gonna replace. This is definitely not gonna replace my, and let's go ahead and hit Billy up a little bit just so that we can go ahead and restore our MOA. But as you can see, boom, there's the knockdown, and he's over the edge. Makes me very, very happy, and we get back into stasis. I love it. It's so good. So that's the stasis and the shockwave part. It's really very, very defensive and almost just kind of like keeps enemies at bay, which I am very, very fond of. Alrighty, so the next precepts that we're going to be taking a look at are the anti-grav grenade and the whiplash mine. These both come from the Para-MOA. So even though I'm using the Lambeo head, I'm still able to pull those precepts off of that MOA and go ahead and show you how these work. So as you can see, the anti-grav grenade is a grenade that reverses gravity in a 3-meter radius, inflicting 60 points of impact damage. The target sustains additional damage based on the amount sustained while airborne. In addition, we've got Whiplash Mine, and this one I like a whole lot. It reminds me of that one Overwatch character that's a big like robot lady. I love her so much. But this one deploys a mine that tethers all enemies in 20 meters. After 3 seconds, all enemies still in range get pulled to that mine. So let's go ahead and take a look at these in action. Whoop. So I'm actually going to go ahead and spawn a couple extra of these, just so you can get a good visual on the amount of control that this pulls out. Because the Para-MOA, even though it is technically the offensive MOA, it definitely creates a lot of situations that you can kind of, I feel, are a little bit more controlling. So let me make sure I keep Caladrius alive, because I don't want anything to happen to him while we're doing this. That's why I love that whole precept. Oh, and there is the airborne one. So as you can see right there, it takes a little bit of damage when it comes down. Oh, and there is that one where the tether grenade. So as you can see, a lot of control coming out of it. Let's see if he's doing it again, what he's got going on. Come on, Bebs. There he goes. And there is the grab one again, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And he gets slammed into the ground. There goes the tether one. And look, that actually happens pretty quickly. So these precepts are not half bad at all. So the Para-MOA, even though they do say... even though they do say that it is more offensive based, I actually feel like it's a little bit better at control. So if you like the control, go for the Para-MOA. If you like some defense, go for the Lambeo MOA. Now, of course, there is still one MOA to take a look at, and we'll cover that in a future video. However, it's the one with the tractor beam, I believe, and it's got some weird hacking precepts that I think they're able to turn the rest of the robotics against each other. It's a weird one. Regardless, I'm very, very fond of my Caladrius. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, like I said before, he's not necessarily going to replace my Kavats in any way, shape, or form. He's definitely a little bit of fun. I've actually got the, I think the sensitive emotion, emotion bleepity bloops on him right now, so I think he's absolutely adorable and a great kind of little butler bot. Of course, we're still looking at Smitas being insanely powerful for their buffs if you're looking to go farm things, and Adarzas with some of the new tech mods on them are insane for keeping crit buffs up, so I'm probably still going to be leaning towards them for offense. However, having a cute little MOA companion is definitely tons of fun. Let me know how you guys are faring with yours, what you've named yours, and if you're enjoying them as much as I am. Are they going to replace any of your sentinels or your pets out there? Just leave your feelings down in the comments below, but that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll chat with you guys next time. Bye-bye.